Hey, hello team, my name is Monique, welcome back to the Cauldron and this autumnal book haul. In case you didn't know, this is Book Reviews, my channel, and I haul books. I did a book buying bang in the beginning of the year, then I hauled a lot of books, then I sort of vaguely was on a buying-ish band, and now we are going back into another firm one because I have bought some books and I thought about doing it from my last haul, which came out in the end of June, but I literally am just kind of like a little bit overwhelmed. So this is my autumnal book haul. These are the books that I have gotten in September and October, and that's just what I'm gonna show you, and then I will be on a somewhat strict buying ban at least until December, possibly going past December after presents and such into January, March, whatevs. But first off, we are going to enjoy these books. I have split them up into categories. So we have gifts, of which I have a few because obviously it was my birthday on the 21st of September. Then I have secondhand books, and then I have pre-orders, and then I have books that I have obviously paid a full price for. So there is a little bit of everything here. But first off, we have the books that came in my subscription boxes. So first off, we have The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bobbellino, which is the Illumicrate August box. This is a dark academia sort of thriller magical realism book, I believe, about two students who accidentally set the devil free. Then we also have this absolutely magnificent edition of Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. This was the September Illumicrate book. This is stunning, like these edges I cannot. And if you don't know what Empire of the Vampire is about, it is basically an adult high fantasy about a world where the sun hasn't come up in 70 years, and I believe that we are following the last Silver Saint, who is part of this religion against vampires, who is retelling his story. And then I have a very old pre-order for the Wings of Shadow Hangover kit, yeah. For the Wings of Shadow Hangover kit from Fae Crate. In that I also got this very beautiful regular edition of Wings of Shadow by Nick Preto, which is the last book in the Crown of Feathers trilogy, which is a YA fantasy with animal magic and phoenix riders and sort of sister rivalry, and it's really amazing, and I'm very excited about reading this book. Because look at this cover. Next up, I'm going to show you guys what I have bought secondhand. First off, we have two books that I technically already have and have also read. We have a paperback edition of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, which is this magical realism book about a young boy who finds a book that has part of his own history in it, and then he finds the Starless Sea. I love it a lot, and I really want to tap it, but I don't want to tap my beautiful Illumicrate edition, so I got this secondhand. And then I also found an English edition of The Healing in Divine by Tamara Pierce. This is the fourth book in the Circle of Magic, which is her middle grade YA series about a group of young magicians learning to control their power. I love it a lot. I only have it in Danish, and I really like this old cover. It's funky, and it's also one of my favorites in the series. I found Soulless by Gail Carriger, which I believe is a magical realism book set in sort of like a Victorian London. And I believe that we are following a young woman who accidentally sort of kills a old vampire or something like that. And then there's something about a werewolf shifter, something like that, and there's like a supernatural investigation going on. But apparently it's really good, and Nian from Literary Diversions really like it, and I'm excited about it. And then I found yet another Robin Hobb book secondhand. All of these are not gonna match, but that's okay. This is Fool's Assassin, which is the first book in the Fitz and the Fool trilogy. Robin Hobb writes these very character-driven adult fantasy series, and she has like several in this universe, and I am just very excited about reading it at one point or another. Not right now, but yeah, I like this really funky like trade paperback thing going on. I'm enjoying it. Next, let's look at some gifts that I got. So this is a very beautiful, excuse me sir, this is a very beautiful Goldsboro edition signed of Sister Song by Lucy Holland, which is a retelling of an old English poem or like song, and I believe we are following three sisters who live out in like the English countryside, and I believe that we are sort of in between the Roman Empire and something else. And I'm very excited about reading this book, and these edges, just like, yay. And I got this from my girlfriend's family for my birthday. Next, my very good friend Jack sent me 2 books. He sent me Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, which I believe is a magical realism book about an ancient vampire and this sort of like young street rat who she talks into helping her escape from this city, Mexico, maybe, I'm not entirely sure. Stunning. I didn't know this was coming. I did know that this was coming. This is Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria, which is a YA fantasy about 2 sisters ending up on opposite sides of a war. I believe that there's a dragon involved, and Jack was getting rid of some of these, and I said, oh, I'm very happy to take it. What do you want for it? And he was like, oh, I'll send it to you for your birthday. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. This is the very snazzy Fairy Loot edition. Look at those sisters, look at that dragon, and yeah, it's yellow and it's cute. And then he also sent me Certain Dark Things, which I thought was really nice of him, so thank you. As always, I will leave a link to his Instagram down below because I love him and you should check him out. Then my girlfriend also got me The Invisible Child by Tove Johansen, which is 2 Moomin stories. The Moomins are a childhood favorite of mine, and I am gathering all of the books, so this is just super cute, and I love it. It's so cute. It's also tiny, so hopefully at one point I will actually get to these. Next, we got gifts from my grandma that I obviously ordered myself because she sent me some money for my birthday. The first one is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. This is a contemporary fantasy about a young witch who returns to her birth town because her magic has sort of lost a bit of its power because she has been gone for so long, and the reason she went away in the first place was because of a horrible breakup. However, now there may be some weird things going on in Thistle Grove, and there may be some feelings between her and the girl that her ex left her for. We have a couple of indie books. This is The Flames of Albion by Jean Said Menzies, who is Jean's bookish thought here on YouTube. This is supposedly a hopeful fantasy about girls and dragons and libraries. I'm very excited about reading it, and I love this pastel-y cover. It is self-published, and I'm just also sapphic. Heard sapphic things. Then we have my newest obsession, which I literally just finished reading, and that is Spitfire by Maya Kern. This is an adult fantasy romance slash erotica where we are following a dragon shapeshifter who is bound to a prince and a queen that is hopefully going to be theirs in the end. It is supremely well written, super amazing world building, and also a lot of monster fucking and erotica, so definitely check out like trigger warnings and stuff, but I highly recommend it because it is self-published. I believe that there are a couple of instances where there may be a little bit too much detail that haven't been like chopped down, but I really enjoy the sort of exploration of magic in this, and also the sheer volume of details about the actual worlds. And then I just love the queer cast. All of them are queer. Everyone is queer. There's so many strong women, so many non-binary characters, and then just this weird relationship between a boy and his dragon, and just, oh my god, it's so good. Now we have the very last of the hauling, and these are all of the books that I have paid full price for. Some of these are pre-orders, some of these are just me deciding that I deserved a book, so let's do it. First up, we have a regular edition, or well, the Waterstone special edition of Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, because I cannot possibly read my Illumicrate edition. It's too beautiful. This one is also signed, but yeah, I also actually pre-ordered this way before, so yeah, so I have an extra one of these. Then I also pre-ordered the Waterstone special edition of The Last Graduate. Look at those edges, by Naomi Novik. This is the second book in the Scholomance series, which is a series that I absolutely adore. The first book, A Deadly Education, was one of my favorite books of last year. It is basically a new adult magical realism series about a school that is eating its students, and a young girl who is stuck in this school who has an affinity for dark magic, but is just basically trying her very best not to turn evil. And this book, I think, broke my heart a little bit. It's so good, and I'm so excited about having it in just beautiful. Then, after going into my office for the first time in a long time, I went into the bookshop across the road and I bought Do You Dream of Terra 2 by Temio, which is a book that I have had my eye on for quite a while. This is a sci-fi book about a group of young people who their entire lives have been raised and trained to go away to Terra 2, which is supposedly this planet that can sustain humanity in the same way that Earth does. However, it takes 22 years to reach Terra 2 and they will be stuck together the entire time and something may or may not be going wrong. I just really want to read this book. I can't help it. I've been staring at it for like what feels like years. Then I went to a sneaky little bookshop with my girlfriend and she said, buy something for yourself. So I did, and I bought To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, which is a short little sci-fi novella about terraforming people instead of terraforming like planets, and I love Becky Chambers. It's like character driven sci-fi. And then I also bought Pandora's Jar, Women in Greek Myths by Natalie Hayes. I did enjoy A Thousand Ships by Natalie Hayes, but not a whole lot. However, I am excited about reading these different like basically like retellings or looking at, I'm not entirely sure if it's retellings or if you were just re-looking at women in Greek myth. On the weekend of my birthday, we did go into town to do some nice things, and I went into Goldsboro and I bought this very snazzy, beautiful edition of The Second Rebel. Should have taken this off. I bought this very snazzy edition of The Second Rebel by Lyndon A. Lewis, which is the second book to The First Sister, which is another adult sci-fi where we are following two separate characters on opposite sides of a war. I really, really, really love The First Sister, even though it is really harsh to like read. Like, please check out trigger warnings before you pick it up, but it also has a lot of queer characters and I really enjoyed that, and I couldn't say no to these edges. I couldn't. They're just so pretty. And I also picked up a book that has been on my wish list for what feels like years, and that is The Girl King by Mimi Yu. This is about two sisters taking different paths to get to a throne. I believe one of them thought that she was going to be the next emperor, and then the emperor suddenly changes his mind and makes their cousin the next heir to the throne, basically. And I did the cover. I love the cover. And finally, I went and met up with some book talk friends in London last week, and I obviously bought some books, and now I am definitely on a book buying ban again. But let's see what I got. First up, we went into the absolutely massive Waterstones, and I picked up two books. I picked up The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin because I love her and she is a goddess. I believe this one follows the personifications of different areas of New York. And I also picked up What Big Teeth by Rose Saspo, which is a YA thriller / horror about a young girl who returns from a boarding school after many years away. However, she returns to a family who's not quite normal but is more monstrous. Then we went into Gaze the Word and I picked up another sequel. This is This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling, the sequel to These Witches Won't Burn, which is a contemporary fantasy about a young witch who has just like experienced her first very horrible breakup. However, it seems that there might be a blood witch in town and her ex may or may not have to work together to figure this out. I'm excited about this second book. I love these covers. They're so cute. And I really enjoyed the casual queerness of the first book and the magic. There was a couple of things where I was like, did we really need that? But I am very excited about reading the sequel. And then finally I went into Forbidden Planet, which I have not been in before and I should not be allowed into again because I came away with 3 books, but I am excited about them. So first we have Stormrise by Julian Boheme. This is a book about a young woman who dresses up like a man to take part in this war, and I believe that there's also dragons, and also Tamora Pierce has blurbed it and says, I devoured it in one sitting, so obviously I'm gonna want to do that. Then I picked up In the Watchful City by C. Queen Lu, which is a little short story sci-fi novella. I believe that we are following a non-binary character who is one of these watchers of the city who takes care of the citizens. However, a new person arrives and their world is like blown open. I'm gonna be excited about reading it though. And then finally I bought a bind up of the Tensor series by Nian Yang. This is 4 novellas in one where we are following 2 siblings, twins, I believe, who have this magic. I believe there's a war going on. I'm not entirely sure what this book is about, but I'm excited about reading it. Also, if you've been hearing my washing machine in the back of this entire video, then I am sorry. So I have hauled 26 books in September. I believe also August. Is this also August? I can't remember. In the autumn months. It's at least September and majority of October. So yes, 26 extra books. I am on a ban. Yay me. So I hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit subscribe button at the same time so you don't miss out on any other videos from me. You can also click the little bell which give you a notification when I put up a new video, which I try to do regularly, but currently life comes in the way and I do what I can. And if you want to buy books, buy books. If you don't want to buy books, that's also fine. This is how I like to spend my money, so please do not come for me in the comments. And then I'll see you guys soon. Remember that I'm proud of you.